Hi.
Oh!
So I'm fascinated by this guy because he uploads all kind of weird stuff that just I can't wrap my brain around some of the stuff that he uploads, and most of it is your typical nonsense that you would find on boomer YouTube. But I think he might have outdone himself this time. I think this guy might have outdone himself this time because he posted this actually on Twitter. This showed up in my Twitter thing because I guess bunch of people are making fun of him about this one. His comments appear to all be negative on this one. So here's this tweet. It says, "People are dying right now. Families are barred entry to the hospitals. Nurses and doctors are dancing on the grave of the dead while you can only watch from a distance." Oh man. Oh man. This guy he's going full on scorched earth into it. And then he posted this comic, which the art on this comic is not bad. Whoever did this is a semi-talented, looks like digital. So here's the comic. It says, "I'll miss you, Dad," and it's like an old fossil in like a breathing tube, and and then it goes to the next panel. "I only wish," and it's the little girl looking from behind a glass while the dad's dying, and then this drawing is actually quite good because it's like these streaming tears from her face. "That I could have held your hand one last time," with like an explosion word bubble, which is like it's so pained. And then the last panel, while she's crying, doctors are dancing behind her. Good God, who did this? It's a shame to see somebody who's like a semi-talented cartoonist or comic book artist, but their view of the world is absolute insanity. So when he talks about dancing, I think he's talking about these TikTok videos that some of these healthcare workers have uploaded. Oh my God, it's so loud. Oh my God, you get it. It's Lizzo. So it's some people who. So if you're not watching this, it's these healthcare workers, people who work in a hospital all day. And if you see, like, I follow a lot of people on Twitter, and I have a few friends who work in hospitals, and there's this trend that's going on where they'll upload a selfie at the end of their work day, and you'll see they have like these like lines where they have to keep their mask on, and then like big like dent marks on their head from the shield that they have to wear and all this stuff. These people are obviously like, I would say very obviously, even if you're kind of beep, boop, 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 you got some boop, boop, boop problems in I'm not saying there's something wrong with Tim Pool's brain or any of these people's brain, but I would hope that you would be able to recognize that people who are putting their own health at risk to save people's lives and help sick people, that those are heroes, heroic people, also don't make a lot of money, that those are the heroes. So let's just let it sink in, what's going on here. We got a guy who tweeted this tweet here, basically making doo-doo on people who work in hospitals. We got a guy here who makes millions of dollars sitting in his house all day, making dumb propaganda videos to mislead 70-year-olds. And he's trashing people who do real work, do the realist work, helping sick people in a pandemic. Those are the people you're going to trash? Believable. Here's another response. "I would imagine that keeping morale at a non-depressing level so that they can keep working and trying to save people and not die themselves might get creative." Yeah, that's what I saw when I saw those videos. I saw a bunch of people who are like, "Man, we got to do something to keep our morale up. And by the way, it's a TikTok that he's talking about. Most of, what is it? Isn't it like 80% of what people do on TikTok is dancing? So they're like, hey, let's go outside, get some exercise, do a TikTok so that people can see, we could kind of connect to people instead of just dealing with people who are, barfing up their lungs all day. Maybe we can take 10 minutes to do a TikTok. And Mr. Sits in his house all day making right-wing propaganda videos like, no, get back to work. Get back to work. You're not allowed to. Only I'm the one who's. This is the mind. I think this is actually the mind of a lot of the people we share a country with. Me. I get to do whatever I want. You do what I tell you. That's the other thing with people like this, is that there's a complete lack of self-observation. Like there's no willingness to examine oneself. You know what I mean? Like this is a guy who makes millions of dollars doing nothing. I mean, just sitting around saying, not even willing to do any research on things. That's the thing. Like, it's the same thing with Joe Rogan. This is a guy, no real job. You have infinite free time. You could read, you could learn things. But these guys are so committed to doing nothing that they even doing something fun like learning and reading that's just too much work for them. So the idea of that kind of person saying, you know who I'm going to choose as a target? The people who work the absolute hardest in our society to keep it from totally falling apart and caving in on itself. That's to the frontline healthcare workers. By the way, a lot of them were African American, and I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of a trend where conservatives, I don't know, just throwing this out there, not the biggest fans of certain people. And the other focus of these guys is to tell everybody to get back to work. You need to get back to work, and all the stores need to open. Of course, they don't. Weird coincidence. None of these right-wing kooks on YouTube actually do have real jobs, or would be in the dangerous position of working, in a restaurant or in a hospital or wherever. They want everything to open back up, but conveniently they don't have to bear any of the difficulties or responsibility for that. It's a weird coincidence. Here's maybe even sadder part of this is, I guess, I don't know, if you have millions of dollars, if you're like a millions of dollars making social media influencer, do you also just like pay people to get into your comments too? Because this is kind of funny. There's one person who's like over and over posting memes that are kind of like in support of what he's saying. Like over and over. It's like the one person who's supporting him is posting these memes. And what does this one says? It's 1 hour into my shift. Time for me to make another TikTok of myself dancing. And then it's got a cartoon of a guy saying, help me, I'm dying. And then somebody replies, literally posted the same joke twice. So it kind of looks like there's somebody who's, I'm going to say 100% paid to get up into Mr. making fun of healthcare workers, despite not having a real job himself, get up in his Twitters to kind of smooth things over. Oh no, and that's not the only one that he did like this. Imagine showing up to a funeral in funeral clothing. We'll come back to that. Imagine showing up to a funeral in funeral clothing and then taking 15 minutes to plan and do a choreographed dance routine for TikTok because you were stressed out. Pretty sure people would flip out. And then he's got a picture of the Spanish flu and then people dancing today. We just got to address, imagine showing up to a funeral in funeral clothing. Funeral clothing? Formal clothing? Maybe funeral clothing. It's like something like an 8-year-old says. I got my funeral clothing on. So yeah, I mean, I would like to send a message right now to healthcare workers across the country, which is, I totally agree with Tim on this one. You don't deserve to take, 15 minutes or whatever to come up with a dance to take a break. It's probably, dancing is probably your hobby because it's fun. You don't deserve to do that. And I know all this, and I say all this because I stay at home all day and watch anime. And so I feel like I'm the authority on this, and you must do what I say. I'm so mad at these healthcare workers that I had a hard time really enjoying. I still enjoyed, but I just had a little bit of a hard time enjoying watching Avatar: The Last Airbender again. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've spent the last 12 hours doing it while they were, basically killing themselves to save people's lives. I was watching, from season 1 all the way through Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I feel like when I see them dance on Twitter, I get so upset, it just ruins my anime viewing. When I see these videos of these people who literally spend all day helping people and saving people's lives and risking their own life, when I see them dancing, I get so upset that I have a hard time pressing upload to my YouTube videos, my YouTube propaganda videos that trick the elderly. But this is a good point. People who do YouTube videos all day, make millions of dollars doing YouTube videos all day. They don't do anything for themselves, for like fun, you know what I mean? To kind of relax, to kind of take their mind off of uploading videos or whatever. They don't do anything like that. It's just, you meditate the rest of the time in an empty room. You can't marry. I don't know if you guys knew this, but YouTubers, they can never get married. They can't have any close personal relationships. It's all just uploading videos and then just sitting in basically an empty, bare room. There's like a Bible next to you and like not even an actual mattress or a bed, but just kind of a thin sort of towel, but it's made of like wicker or something. And you meditate on there and then you go right back up to making a YouTube video again. So pretty easy to judge these people based on that schedule. Oh my God, this guy's Twitter is amazing. Here's a video, 3.7 million views on this, and he wants to make this woman a star. I'll make you a star, sweetheart, is what he says to this woman in this video. Where's this video from? I'd love to talk to this woman. So, and remember, he just uploaded a video shaming healthcare workers for dancing while all these deaths are happening. And then he uploads this video and says he wants to talk to this woman.
Or more, there's like 36 people with COVID in the ICU. Whenever there's a flu, there's only 2 or 3 patients at a time.
So it's a maskless Karen in what appears to be a CVS, clearly maskless. Somebody's asking her probably to wear a mask. And she turns it into a debate. So here we go.
In the ICU. But literally the entire hospital is COVID patients. Mm-hmm. This has never happened.
I'm not saying COVID's not real. I'm just saying I'm not sick. Well, I'm not sick, and asymptomatic spread has been shown to be a myth. So why am I going to be treated like a sick person? Do you know that there have been fewer deaths overall in 2019 than there were in 2018? Look it up. Fewer deaths overall. All they've done is recategorize all the deaths. This is not what they're telling us it is. It's a lie. You're going to be treated like a sick person.
Man, you can tell this person has an internet brain. Wow, so now we know exactly who this guy's audience is. It's people like this, just society's brats. Like literally, I mean, I go out places all the time. I wear a mask whenever I go inside of a store. It bothers me about 0.1%. Like it's so nothing. It's such an easy thing to do. In fact, there are benefits to it. I live in a relatively small city where I see the same people all the time, and I feel an obligation to kind of do chit chat with these people when I'm at a checkout or something. But I got the mask on; they don't know who it is. And now I don't have to talk to you. You know what I mean?
Stuff on their face when they're healthy is insanity. It's absolute insanity. Go ahead. They can't arrest me because there's no law. I'm a healthy person. I don't need.
If I read something on the internet that got my emotions all worked up, if I'm not allowed to act entirely on that and sort of impose that on other people, especially in stores, for these guys, I watched that Adam Carolla video the other day where these guys, all their complaint is I can't go into stores, and that's a huge problem, even though there's a million other ways I could get the dumb crap that I buy. I can't go into stores. That's a tragedy. basically worse than World War II, me not being able to go into Target. And second, not only do I want to be able to go into Target all the time whenever I want, but I also want to go in on my own terms that I got from social media propaganda.
Yeah, you don't need to be
I would
here.
love to see what happens. Honestly, I'm moving tomorrow.
I picked you out a long time ago.
She says, I'm moving tomorrow, and I'm just looking to kind of rile things up because I'm leaving. I don't care. And make a bunch of trouble and get a viral video out of it. I'm moving. Like, these people who have been working all day at Target care if you're moving.
And you're refusing after.
That's who this guy's audience is. I finally discovered it. Like, watching his kook videos, it's just Karens and boomers. Man, could you imagine that? Would you want that following, even if you were getting a bunch of money off of it? I guess you never have to meet them. You know, that's nice, but I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But, you know, some people can do it. Some people just have a zero moral compass, zero kind of honor. They're just like, ugh. They're just like these little slugs who will just, you know, they'll do whatever to run their little scams. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Oh!
I'm offering you
Epsom
something.
salts and corkscrew, but I'm really curious to see how are they going to arrest me for a law that doesn't exist.
Epsom salts and a corkscrew, and you're willing to risk
Yes.
people's lives.
No, I'm not risking anyone's lives because I'm healthy.
How do we know that you're healthy?
I'm fine. Look at me.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And she's, from what I can tell, she's kind of cute, you know? So not to go down this dark path that I'm about to go on, but you know, a lot of girls out there, you're like, oh, she's cute. Maybe I'd like to meet her. And then you talk to her and you're like, something's not good here.
Do you understand that people?
Asymptomatic spread is not a thing. They've already shown there is no asymptomatic spread.
What?
There's no asymptomatic spread. I don't have symptoms.
Just to fact check this is from Nature, what the data says about asymptomatic spread. So just, you know, we're just going to fact check this totally normal, sane person yelling at a Target. Here it is. And this is about what you would expect. People without symptoms can pass on the virus. Oh, okay. But estimating their contribution to outbreaks is challenging, of course, because this is a relatively new thing that everybody's kind of scrambling to figure out. But, interesting. Doesn't seem like this scientific journal agrees with what this screaming Tim Pool fan has to say. What's he going to do when he gets her on the show, by the way? He said in that tweet, he replied, he's like, I would love to have this woman on my show. She's clearly very knowledgeable. I'd love to expose this kind of brilliance to my, 500,000 fans who watch my video each day. I'd love to have her on there. Love to have her on there because she's clearly, maybe he wants her to be his girlfriend. I don't know. He's like, ooh, that's my kind of lady. Screaming in a Target because she's inconvenienced. The extreme inconvenience of putting a piece of cloth on your face for 20 minutes. That's my kind of babe. Get her on the show. He has her on the show. There's like a candle. They're both drinking wine. And he's like, so, do you like making fun of healthcare workers? And she's like, yeah, they're the worst. People who risk their lives to help people, they're a piece of crap because they have social media. And then they both like hit it off. They become boyfriend and girlfriend.
Symptoms. I'm fine. I'm not a carrier of disease. This is what I'm saying. They're treating us like we're diseased. You just said, how is it treating you like you're diseased? But then
Wearing
you're
a
telling me, how
mask
do you
is
know?
not an imposition
It
to
is.
be careful with other people's
No,
health.
it's not just the mask.
This
it's
is the
social
epicenter
distancing.
of
it's
the
the
country.
lockdowns. It's everything. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
You're moving tomorrow, right? So you're gonna be.
I hope so.
Oh my God. See, this is the difference between, me and Tim Pool. Is like, this is his, this is the girl he has a crush on. And this is the girl who I have a crush on, to be honest. Is it immature for a man in his, I don't know, let's just say 30s, to be talking about crushes? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's YouTube. It's YouTube, and as we can see, there's no code of ethics or honor or moral. But I like that that's like, I mean, there's all these times in your life where something horrendous is happening and people reveal their true colors. And this person who's just like doing her job is like, oh, well, you said you're leaving tomorrow, so why not just calm down or whatever. Adorable. Oh my God, whoever this person is, you deserve to get the 3.7 million views. Should put a link to her channel. Oh my God, look at this brave guy tweeted this. Oh my God. Which people do we admire the most from history? Those who resist the tyrants or those who comply? And by the tyrants, I mean people who are working for $8 an hour at Target. We got to stand up to them. We got to stand up to these people who are they just want you to not cough into their mouth. Those are tyrants. What about the Republican Party, who doesn't even want to give people any relief money despite all these economists saying that they have to? No, those are fine. Those are fine. I don't know. But these tyrants at the Baskin Robbins and the TCBY who force me to wear a mask on, and they make below minimum wage. I don't know, some loophole the company's getting, but still, those are the tyrants. Okay, guys, I'm kind of losing my mind here. Clearly, maybe I need to stop watching these videos because I feel like I'm kind of cracking up on this thing.
What?
This is what's going on. In people's brains. Somebody replied to that Karen video. She's 100% correct. But they will keep making it seem like she's the crazy one. Oh no. These people are the insane ones. The people who are just like, hey, let's just be careful in stores. This is all about the culture wars of the United States is all store related. It's all if you make me put on a mask inside of a CVS or a Walgreens or an H&M, if I got to put a, this is what this is all about. This is what democracy is all about, This is the debates that go on in the early in the forming of the United States. It was like, a lot of people were like, oh no, we don't want a democracy because these people, they can't handle it. The masses, they can't handle democracy. And then another guy would say, no, let's not even talk about any of this democracy stuff. What we really need to talk about is store behavior, being allowed to do whatever you want in stores. That's what we need to focus on. She is wrong, though. There's rampant asymptomatic spread. Yeah, I mean, she's online too much. She just stares at her laptop all day. Plus, the new British mutation is even more contagious. The other thing, I think a lot of this stuff is trying to get attention. Like, she's just like, look at all these things that I learned from just staring at bizarre YouTube channels all day. And I'm going to barf them up at people who just want to make it through their shift and go home. But I'm going to get a little, people are going to pay some attention to me. Unbelievable.
Jesus Christ.
Hi.
Well, there you go. Just another peek into our deeply disturbed country, packed to the brim with loons and kooks that we have to deal with. Here's another interesting reply. Talk to her about what? Remember, this guy says he wants to get her on his million subscriber YouTube channel. Talk to her about what? So you can spread dangerous propaganda? She literally said asymptomatic spread is a myth. I would like to know if we can show explicit evidence. I would like to know if we can show explicit evidence of harm caused by your content. Would you dial it back or continue the misinformation campaign? Oh, no, he would keep going. He would totally keep going. Whether or not he's like purposefully trying to spread misinformation or he's just beep, boop, 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 boop. He's dialed down a little bit. So Tim, this is a message to Tim. The rational, responsible part of my brain says, please take down your YouTube channel. But the sort of ruthless, shameless content creating, as I call it, side of my brain says, please get this woman on your show. Also, we have a new rating system on this show, which is how many flushes does this get? And this one gets, it's between 1 and 5. And this one's going to get, I would say, 3. Thank you. Please subscribe.